Hello YouTube, it's me Tifar Wellness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this month's Korean toy reviews. Right, so this video should be going out on the 1st of November, but it's also the final review in a string of 5 reviews I've been doing over the last 5 weeks. Because obviously back in August I had a video review, Tobot Ken, that I did, and it got very poor viewing figures and I was a bit disgruntled because it was getting poor views, and I decided to suspend Korean toy reviews for the time being until it got to 100 views. That didn't happen. I eventually decided to get back into it because I was getting a glut of figures coming in that needed reviewing, so I decided to resume the reviews. And in order to catch up and get back into the usual swing of things, or to I've had to do 5 Korean toys reviews on the trot, starting with Tobot Sonic, then Tobot C, then Hello Carbot the Braves Hide. Last week, or rather yesterday, because obviously the last review went up yesterday as I'm filming this, but as you're seeing this review, would have been last week. That was Hello Carbot the Braves Code Guy. And then I've got today's review, which is the final of this string of 5 reviews on the trot that I've done. Now, as regards to Tobot Code Guy, I'm watching the viewing figures after 24 hours, and it's died on its arse. So it looks like Tobot Ken all over again. Whatever, I said I'm not going to let the poor viewing figures on my videos get to me. It's difficult when I see a video that's been up for 24 hours has only got 20 views on it. That's sad, but whatever. We're moving forwards. As for Tobot, not Tobot, Hello Carbot Code Guy, I've got him here. Something I forgot to do in my last week's review, or yesterday's review, is a size comparison with my usual size comparison bot. So I didn't do this in the review, so didn't show you his size next to Combiner Wars Megatron, and as you can see, he's slightly bigger. So yeah, that's something I forgot to do in the last review, so a bit of housekeeping there. Anyway, so on to today's review. It's a figure from the Tobot toy line, the latest Tobot toy line for 2025. Tobot, was it Dado Hero Season 3? And that's, from what I understand, Season 3 is going to be the final season for this reboot, or soft reboot of the Tobot series. They've announced some 6-bot combiner that's going to be the final sort of Tobot that's coming out for that toy line. I'm not interested in getting the combiners. I'm not going to get was it Tobot Tetran or whatever he's called, and this other one, 6 whatever. I haven't got the names for it, but I'm not interested. So technically this figure is possibly the last Tobot I'm going to buy for the foreseeable future, or for the time being anyway. So who have I got? Well, hang on. I've got this guy, Tobot Pop, and so before we get into the review itself, do the usual thing where we have a quick look at the packaging. So here's his packaging: large plastic window, double clamshell, well, a large clamshell inside, Tobot Pop in alt mode, Tobot Pop in robot mode, his name mark down here, picture of him on the side, picture of him on the back, and more on the side, and then you got product information on the bottom, Tobot name on the top. As with other Tobots from this reboot, you get a cardboard stand to display him on. Comes with a set of instructions which show you the transformation in both directions and show you integration with the accessories. Comes with some cards. Now this guy, the previous, well, when we got Tobot A came with like a little phone case you could put the cards in, like a mock phone, because all the Tobot pilots in the new reboot, they've got like mobile phones that act as their thing where they talk and control the Tobots when they're doing attacks and stuff like that. And these were cards that you could slip into the phone case and simulate having the the tow phone as it was. But then they used to come in like a little plastic case. But this one hasn't. This one hasn't got the plastic case. They were just sat in the clamshell. So here's the cards, and obviously they're all the same on the back. There's nothing on the back, and it's just 3 pictures of Tobot Pop in various poses. Hasn't got the trace pattern. Hasn't got the faux screensaver for the mobile phone, unfortunately. So that's them. And he does come with an accessory. He comes with his microphone stand. And I'm going to start this review off with the Koroyd. So, hang on. Yeah, that's right. So the Tobots in the new series, for the most part, not all of them, because the Tobot SOS hasn't got Koroyds, but all the other Tobot characters come with a Koroyd. So basically, in Tobots, the robot has like a glowing ball, which is the brain or the core of the robot. In the original series, they were sort of inside the cars, and then they transformed because they had the tow key, which they plug into the thing and activate them and cause them to transform. Obviously, moving into the reboot, what they've done is they've taken these cores and they've stuck them inside like a mini robot body called the Koroyd. So his brain or the core is inside here, and so he can when he's not in the robot, he can not in the alt mode or the vehicle or the robot, he can just wander around like a little robot and hang around with all the other Koroyds and all the other Tobot pilots. So there he is. You can see he's got his name mark on there, Tobot Pop. These things are very, very simple. You've got like a head rotation. The shoulders are on ball joints, so they can move all the way around, and they can sort of butterfly backwards. There's nothing on the feet, just some pegs. Now this guy has got a little bit extra going on with his mic stand. You've got the mic on the top. It's got this little piece on the top which comes unclipped. So you've got this little thing here, and Tobot Pop has got some pegs on the back, and this thing plugs on and gives him some little wings. And they're sort of poseable. You can angle them in, or you can have them having back like that. I don't know whether he can fly with these things on, with this pack on. I mean, you've got Tobot Sonic had the ball which turned into like I won't say a wheelchair, but it turned into like a what they called a Segway type thing, like a wheeled thing that he could ride around on. This is a similar sort of thing. Part of his accessory forms a wing pack or something. I mean, Tobot Pop is a pop star. You know, he's like an entertainer. He likes, dancing and singing and stuff like that. So I don't know whether it's all part of his costume when he's doing that. But anyway, that comes off, and that it plugs onto his mic stand like so. Now, another thing with this guy, I mean, obviously when you're converting him, you have to change the head when you're going into robot mode, but when he's in Koroyd mode, he has like the happy little robot face. Now, this guy has an extra feature in Koroyd. His alt mode is an open top sports car, and there's a little space in here. So what you do is you take Tobot Pop's Koroyd, you fold his arms back, and then you slot him in, and then he can drive his own alt mode. He can drive his own vehicle mode, so he can actually drive it instead of, because usually the other Tobot characters, they usually fit into like a hollow in the or in under the hood or the bonnet of the car. That's where they usually sit when they're in alt mode or robot mode. Well, in robot mode, the head comes out, but so yeah, he can actually drive his own car, and there is a little steering wheel in there, but he can't actually hold it, because if you look at the way this guy fits in, you can see you have to fold his arms back in order to fit him in, so you can't have his arms out, you know, holding the steering wheel, and his arms are so short and stubby they wouldn't reach them anyway. So there we go. So this is the alt mode, right? So now we're on to the alt mode. So it's an awesome looking sort of sports car, an open top sports car. Got nice painted detail on the back with the lights. It's got very large pegged wheels which roll extremely well. It's got some nice details with the lights and grills on the front. It's got his license plate with Tobot Pop on it. It's got the place where the Tobot badge would go if it was painted, but it's not. Got some little grills on the thing. It's got a black windscreen. It's got side mirrors that aren't painted on the back, but it's got nice paint marks on it, nice, you know, stripes and styling lines on the car. It looks really, really cool. I mean, obviously robot stuff underneath. It's a great car. It's decently weighty, rolls extremely well, looks cool, and Tobot Pop can drive it, though you can just take him out if you just want it like that. So put him back in. Right, so transforming into robot mode. So first of all, that's right, yeah. First of all, you take these rear panels and you fold them out. So there's a little thing to get your nail under. And you fold that out. Then you take the back panel and you fold that up and then fold that back in like that. You then open the legs, bring the waist down, turn it round. You then split the legs, take the front panels and they clip in the side and they just sort of fold back. So you take the front of the car, it clips, and then you fold it back inside the leg like so. You can then straighten the legs out. These panels fold back and click into place. Like so, and then you've got the toes. Just flip the toes out. And that's the legs. Now the arms. Split the back of the car. And bring the arms out to the side. You then take this panel here and then fold it up and clip it into the back. Then the arms, you bring them down. Fold out the fists, then you turn the arms inwards, and then this piece comes down and then you straighten that, and then finally you turn his head round or his face round. And there we go. And there is Tobot Pop in his robot mode. And he looks really, really cool. He's very bright and colourful. You've got the light blue, you've got the white, you've got the orange and the black. Pretty cool. He looks really, really cool. You turn him round. He's fairly clean. Heel support. Now, he hasn't got any support on the inside of his heels, though these panels that come back, they do form a decent support when he's in robot mode. So he is reasonably stable, but he lacks sort of heel support on the inside of his legs. Now, paint apps on this thing look pretty good for the most part, but this guy has got this particular item, this particular version of the figure I've got. It's got some very mucky paint apps. I don't know whether you can see, but those paint apps, then white paint apps around his waist, are a bit. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the. You got to pull the arms out. There we go. So yeah, I forgot to. There's some slightly messy paint apps on this where the edges aren't quite straight. They're a bit messed up. So it's a shame really. But apart from that, he is decently colourful and all that stuff. Right, posability. It's got the head rotation because of the Koroyd gimmick. Shoulders ratcheted. Now they do hit the backpack. The backpack does not stow away because these wings fold in, they don't fold out. So that's as far as the arm goes up. So it's kind of limited to the range just over 180 degrees. That's as far as the arm goes in and out. Does have bicep swivel. 90-degree elbow bend. Nothing at the fist. He's got a waist joint. And this guy does kind of have an ab crunch, because you've got this panel here on the front which folds down. So you've got this panel here. So if you pull it out a little bit, you can get an ab crunch, but it's kind of messing up so it's like a bib that sticks down. But you can technically get an ab crunch, but you have to pull this thing out first in order to, because it locks it into place if it's so he has kind of got an ab crunch as well, but not really. So waist joint, yeah. Hips, forwards, back. Now there's this pin here that restricts the backward motion, so the legs only go back that far. Thigh swivel, deep knee bend due to transformation, and he hasn't got any tilt on his feet because obviously he's just got the usual sort of angle cut on the soles of his feet to give him a neutral A stance. So there we go. There's his articulation. He's pretty articulated. Some restrictions, most notably his arms don't go out that far. Because of the backpack, you're restricted for arms going backwards, but that's not a big deal. Does have a sort of a hidden ab crunch. But yeah, he's all right. He's reasonably posable. Now, quick size comparison, something I forgot to do last week. So there he is next to Combiner Wars Megs, and as you can see, yeah, he's a full leader class scale bot. And then there's his accessory, which is the mic stand, because like I said, this guy's a pop star. He's an entertainer. He likes singing and dancing. And his debut episode, when he appears, he starts breaking out doing the Tobot theme tune, and then he gets like a Team Rocket blast off with the bad guys. It's quite funny, but it sort of plugs into his hand, and then you can, well, you can kind of have him sort of bring it in so that you can use it. But he can't, like I said, because he's got no wrist rotation and his elbows only go to 90 degrees, it's difficult to get him into a position whereby he can actually sort of hold the mic up towards his mouth so he can actually do stuff. But he's got it. Now, that's about as much as you can do with the accessory. The mic stand itself, it's got this piece, this like shuriken thing which plugs on the bottom as a base. I can't find any reason why it's there or where it plugs in. This thing does not stow in alt mode. There's nowhere for it to go, so it's just an accessory. Also, you've got the mic itself has got a little bit of articulation there. You've got these wings on that accessory. You can kind of move them around a bit if you want, but the thing is, the clipping point for the accessory, you know, where it clips on, is not particularly strong, and the ratchets on these are a bit stronger, but you know, you can mess around and have it a number of different orientations. But there we go, the mic stand. Like I said, he can hold it in his hand, he can pose with it, but there's not a lot more he can do with it. So there we go. There he is. Tobot Pop from the latest or possibly final series of Tobot Dado Hero Season 3 or Tobot 2025. Like I said, I'm not planning on getting the combiners from Season 3. So, Mr. Paramount 360, don't bother chiming in on the comments saying, oh, I want you to get this, I want you to get that, I want you to review this. No. I ain't doing them. I ain't doing their copolymer combiners. I'm not interested in them. So, yeah. So this is possibly the last Tobot I'm going to buy for the foreseeable future. So there we go. That's been my review of Tobot 2025 or Dado Heroes Season 3, Tobot Pop. It's the last of this string of 5 reviews I've done on consecutive weekends or consecutive Saturdays. This is the first review I'm going to be doing here in November as well, so it's a number of different facets with this video, but hopefully you've watched it, because my viewing figures are going down the toilet at the moment, and yeah, depends to see whether I continue doing YouTube, but whatever, it is what it is. Okay, I've been TFI Wilderness. Hopefully you've watched my video, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.